So today is International Women's Day, a day that, of course, people use to virtual signal to white knight and, of course, try to get some with just bullcrap and more lies. And the mainstream media does that in its own effective ways by, of course, selling you bullcrap and lying to you on so many important issues, usually for power or profit. And this next article, which Jason Berman said he doesn't want to talk about, wants to totally ignore, we're going to talk about, Jason, is very important, as we have an article here by The Independent who wrote a little listicle saying that International Women's Day 10 of the best female-only trips for solo travelers. Their first thing on this list is hike in Morocco. This is absolutely incredulous for many reasons, but here it says, Intrepid Travelers has launched a new limited editions women's expeditions, which are all about breaking down barriers, fostering discussion, and creating immersion, local experiences for women that are ordinarily off limits or on regular group departures. You girl with the t-shirt up above, and it is absolutely crazy that the Independent did this. We're going to tell you why they did this, but it's absolutely crazy since not so long ago, around 2 months, two Scandinavian women that were vocally liberal or vocally what people describe as social justice warriors were traveling throughout Morocco, where they were found dead after being hunted, raped, and murdered by a group calling themselves ISIS, which actually filmed the horrible acts and even sent the videos to the family members of the victims, showing you a gross reality of what the world is that, of course, these mainstream media publications never will because of PR political purposes. Now, I do have to preface this. I'm a huge proponent of traveling. I love traveling. I've been to some crazy, incredible places in this world, and I recommend people get out there, get out of your bubble, and see the world. But when you do actually see the world, you start realizing that it's a lot different than what the media portrays it as in many different ways. In some ways, it's not as bad. And in some other ways, there's some other cold realities that people need to realize. And a lot of things are way off worse. And it's all about your own experiences and how you go into things. And sadly, people need to realize that a lot of the world outside of the Western world is a lot more racist, is a lot more sexist. And you can't say that because it's not politically correct. Jason, interrupt me if you want, but this is a big fact that people need to realize, because throughout my travels, I mean, I've been to Japan. The Japanese hate the North Koreans and the South Koreans, all Koreans. All the Koreans hate the Japanese. The Koreans and Japanese hate the Chinese. The Chinese hate everyone. And it gets more complex, even just around racial issues and skin issues, where in Zimbabwe, the Zimbabweans hate the South Africans. The South Africans hate the Zimbabweans. It's not just South Africans hating white people, but also their neighbors. And they have a crazy, horrible precedent in South Africa where they take Zimbabweans who are fleeing the dying economy there and literally catch them and put tires around them and light them on fire so the Zimbabweans don't come in and take their jobs. Absolutely crazy facts of this world that you need to be awoken to and understand that, of course, are not deemed PC friendly. Now, the bigger issue I have with this article, this kind of listicle, is, again, it's all based off opinion. It's all based off someone just saying, well, I think Morocco's a great, without doing any research. And many times, a lot of these articles are connected to advertising agencies and, of course, not journalism, tourism industries and money that countries pay to promote their country. So a lot of the mainstream articles, especially listicles, are ultimately paid off by big money or special interests or special countries that want you to promote a certain idea. And I wouldn't be surprised, Jason, if Morocco, somehow a big advertising agency, took money from Morocco to promote this idea, because, again, you might have a good time in Morocco. Morocco is not all bad, but it's important to be aware that you're going into a part of the world that is totally different than what the media portrays it to be.
Well, number one, you should always be aware of your surroundings, Luke. And number two, I hate to tell people this, but yes, the world is a very complex place, and bigotry still exists heavily outside of your bubble. We're not all that diverse. And when you
Jason,
get
holy
to
cow,
these,
the Koreans, so racist. Insane. Like, I was shocked, utterly shocked. In the Philippines, they have little Nazis running around, they literally wearing the swastikas in the Philippines, just because it's like a fashion trend there or something. It's the world is far more complex, far more confusing than it is. And again, the bigger point here, you're making it right on the money with what you're saying.
hey, look, you can't be naive. You know, we were just looking at this Sputnik article that goes a little bit further and talks about, Luke, how they were 2 days hunting these targets. Now, this is getting a lot of play in the media, and for good reason, because it has all the elements. You know, has these girls being social justice warriors, being naive about the surroundings. This kind of coincides with that couple that were actually killed when they went out to the Middle East and they thought they were, oh, we'll just go over. Yeah, everybody loves us. That's not how the world is. And the truth of the matter is that even though these are the first, 2 girls we've seen by this group being killed and confirmed, we don't know they haven't done this before. This stuff exists, especially in second and third world countries, on a level that we're not comfortable even talking about.
Yeah, and the reason I want to make this video is to highlight a couple of important aspects, the nuanced points that we made here. But I have a lot of friends that are like, yeah, I want to go to India. I want to go to New Delhi. I'm like, do you know India is the rape capital of the world? like not only, diseases that you have to worry about in such extreme levels, but, there's parts of India that are incredible, that are beautiful. But as a single woman, you have to be a lot smarter and very careful. And I wouldn't even recommend as a single, woman going to these places. Now, a lot of this is off to the, there could be a whole nother discussion about privilege. There's a whole nother discussion I want to make here that also crazy people exist, including radical Islamist terrorists. Even in the Philippines, ISIS exists and beheaded other Canadian tourists in the Philippines. I remember being in the Philippines and hearing how tourists were captured and ultimately beheaded on video again. So another, thing to point out here of how vast and big this larger kind of terrorist network that pretty much exists because of the United States is out there, and just how really extremely careful you have to be out there to the realities of this world that, of course, big, agencies and news agencies try to hide from you. I mean, this list is pretty crazy. They also have here meet local women in Iran for 2,035 pounds, 12 days, including flights. I mean, yeah. I don't know, Jason. I don't know what to say here.
Well, I'm just going to close it out by saying this. No matter what your race, gender, sexual preferences.
Thing here, they're actually talking about hiking. They're talking about a hiking adventure through the foothills. This is how the women were caught after they were being hunted. Seriously. Yeah. What is wrong with the Independent? Again, made up things, personalized opinion, most likely coming from a profit-driven advertisement that you're not realizing it's an advertisement, and just absolutely totally unaware of the larger facts here and realities of this world, which are not PC-friendly, but important for you to understand. Sorry, Jason, I cut you off.
Like I just said, be aware of your surroundings. Know where you are. Don't just go, oh, everything's going to be great. Doesn't matter who you are. When I go and travel somewhere that I don't know where I'm going, I'm very aware of where I am and what I'm doing, what I'm saying, how I'm traveling. And we have to understand, not everybody in the world plays by the same rules, Luke. That's why anarchy will never work. Totally different discussion, my friend.
We're debating
totally different discussion, but I thought I'd get my jab in. You made me do this video. Be aware, and that's how you're going to really maximize your experiences traveling.
We're going to debate that on the live show like we always do. And that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. And, of course, you are to yours. What do you think of this video? Do you like all the videos that we're producing on the backup channel? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button, as we're trying to do 3 videos now on the backup channel. And today's being International Women's Day, I thought this was a very important fact to highlight with you. If you agree with that, hit the like button. And thank you once again for being a part of Real Independent Media. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more.